My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, today we're going to talk about the akhlaq and portion of it, and it's specific about ihsan. To excel in everything we do. Linguistically is itqan al-shay. أو فعله على كمال الوجه. Linguistic of that, meaning of that, to do everything that you do in the best way that you can. In comprehensive way, in excellence, in completion, to the best of your ability. But ihsan shar'i has a different story. It's a long hadith. Jibreel alayhi salam, when he came to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he asked him about what is Islam. He told him the 5 pillars of Islam. He says, sadaqt, he told the truth. The Sahaba radwanullahi alayhim ajma'in says, ajaban, yas'aluhu thumma yasaddiquh. Why are you asking if you already know the answer? So he says, what is iman? And he told him about the 6 articles of faith. He said the same thing. But he came to the 3rd one, he says, what is ihsan? He says, أن تعبد الله كأنك تراه فإن لم تكن تراه فإنه يراك. Meaning that you should worship Allah as if you see Him, and if you don't see Him, indeed He sees you. And then he says, متى الساعة? When is the hour? He says, ما السائل عنها أعلم من المسؤول. The one that is asking doesn't know more than the one that is being asked. So why are they in order, and what is it exactly that we have to learn to attain it? And what do we get out of it? And most important, what do we do to change our life in order for us to get the reward of ihsan, which we'll finish with inshallah. First of all, there are 2 types that you have to understand within the definition, the shar'i, the things that we have to look after, and there are 3 types of ihsan. 1, Allah subhanahu wa jalla fi ula is number 1 on our list because He is the source of ihsan. أحسن الله إليك. As Allah subhanahu wa jalla fi ula said, وَأَحْسِنْ كَمَا أَحْسَنَ اللَّهُ إِلَيْكَ. Be good like Allah has been good to you. What does that mean? You've given nothing to Allah, but He's going to give you Jannah for nothing that you've given. وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ حَقَّ تُقَاهُ. How could you worship Allah the way befitting His Majesty? مَا عَبَدْنَاكَ حَقَّ عِبَادَتِكَ. The angels will say that on Judgment Day, and they're not even mukallafeen. They're not even obligated to do anything. They haven't sinned once in their lifetime. Since they were created, one of them has not blinked an eye, has 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. Fear that he would miss that call of Allah to blow in the trumpet. And we are submerged in sins. We live in sins. We use our senses for sins. The blessing Allah that He gives us, we use that to fight Allah with. The cell phones that we have, we use it in haram things. The money we get is haram. What we eat is haram. What we watch is haram. What we talk about is haram. What we listen to is haram. We go to places that are haram, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will still be good to you. How could that be, akhi and ukhti? If you understand the meaning of ihsan, you will change before you leave these doors. So let's find out. Number 1 is between you and Allah. Number 2 is between you and yourself. Number 3 is between you and others. And I'll tell you number 1 on the list of number 3. Now, all you have to remember, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling you about ihsan, there is a reward that comes with it, but you have to earn it. So linguistically what it means, أن تعبد الله كأنك تراه, which is called muhasaba. You should worship Allah as if you see Him. That is called accountability. Which means what? You hold yourself accountable before you're accountable. You weigh your actions before they weigh onto you. The second portion, إن لم تكن تراه, and indeed we don't see Him, know for sure that He sees you. That is called muraqabah. Supervision. Let me give you something tangible you can relate to. If I tell you right now, I want you to go right now, after you leave the khutbah, buy a GoPro, plant it on your forehead. I don't want you to streamline anything. But I want you to plant it on your forehead, and everything that you see, everything that you go to, everything you touch, everything where you go, everything you say, everything you hear, everything you said will be downloaded from your GoPro stream. Or you record it, but you bring it to me the following day, and I will show everyone what you've been to. Bring it. I'll take you on, man. What do you think? If you already know that everybody else here will see the true about you, if you're acting in the masjid like Abu Bakr, but when you're all alone you're acting like Abu Jahl, do you have ihsan? La wallahi. So think about it. Everything you see, I want you from now on to change. What does that mean? Your eyes are like camera lenses. Your ears and your mouth is like your downpole. Your hard drive, your mind, is your modem. Your heart is your hard drive, and everything is downloaded, but it will be uploaded on Judgment Day. Will you be proud of that DVD? If you're afraid of what people are going to say to you, what do you think on Judgment Day? Ala ru'us al-ashhad. 50,000 years where everybody sees you, Sheikh. So, لا تجعل الله أهون الناظرين إليك. So don't let Allah be the least of your worries of those who see you. If you're afraid of people, I was told that something happened here, that some machine that was giving out money without accountability, and they found out. They tell you, okay, bring it back or else you have 2 weeks to reconcile. Unfortunately, some of us fell in the trap. May Allah protect us from that. But we were afraid of what? Passing Allah. I'm just, the brother is telling me on the way over here, wallahi. We're afraid of Allah, but we don't know the law of Allah. We're afraid that we'll be caught, but we don't know there are 2 angels are writing down. Alam ta'lam bi anna Allah yara. Don't you know that Allah can see you? That's why the Sahaba radwanullahi alayhim ajma'een used to tell the children 3 things, and that's what I want you to do from now on. Teach your children 3 things before they go to sleep. Allahu ma'i. Allah is with me. Allah sees me. Allah watches over me. So from now on, you have to change a few things. The second portion, my brothers and sisters, is between you and yourself. Don't oppress yourself. How do you do that? Well, you make yourself do things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not want you to do. You oppress yourself. Inna shirka la dhulmun azim. How do you oppress yourself? You keep yourself away from heaven and you take yourself to hellfire. What are you talking about, man? Yes, it's your choice. You understand it's a choice? In this life, your body has a control over your soul. In the grave, your soul will have a control over your body, but hereafter they're all together. So don't blame anybody else for anything else that you do. So understand that ihsan is something embedded that you have to attain and acquire. And I'll tell you how, inshallah. The second is you. The third is about others. We don't have enough time to go into everything, but I'll give you one. وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. The word ihsana comes with walidain. The second reason for your creation, your parents. So the scholars will tell you the first people you must be doing ihsan with are your parents. وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا وَعَطْفًا بَيَانًا. Allah decreed that you should worship none except Him and be good to your parents. Why? Second reason for your creation, they come right after Allah. So how is it exactly ihsan, ya Shaykh? Now you understand that your mother has seen death to give you birth. She's gone hungry to feed you. She's gone thirsty to quench your thirst. She devoted her life to make you who you are today. Now when you grow up, you don't need him anymore. What is ihsan, ya Shaykh? Have you not heard your father, the drip of the sweat on the forehead to put food on the table, roof over your head, and clothes on your back? So what do I want you to do? Practical solutions. Every morning and every night, every one of us, if you're lucky enough that your mother is still alive, you better kiss that hand when she wakes up in the morning, and kiss that hand before she goes to sleep. Because this is the same hand that wiped the tears off your eyes. Same hand that put that eye before the shade of the sun to cover you. Same hand that bathed you, fed you, clothed you, changed you. Same hand that you reached for. The first thing that you touched, first sound you heard was the heart pulse. Everything you're about was about your mother. Where were you when you slept at night and you found yourself in the morning in the same bed? This is your mother, my brothers and sisters. So you better make sure that your mother stays asleep when she's happy with you. Otherwise there's one gate of hellfire open for you if you die. But if she's happy with you, there's one gate of heaven waiting for you if you die. Same with your father. It's the middle gate of heaven. So you will understand now, my brothers and sisters, that the simple question is, it was asked for a righteous man, who is your favorite person? Who is your favorite woman? He says, it has to be my mother. She waited for me for 9 months. 9 months waiting for me. And when she saw me, she had a beautiful smile on her face, even though she had to endure the agony of giving me birth. And for the rest of her life, she devoted for me. She has to be my favorite woman. So I'll take you on the other side because of time and how to get there and the examples that we have to follow. May Allah make us among those who listen to speech and follow the best of it. أقول ما تسمعون وأستغفر لكم فاستغفروه فيا فوز المستغفرين. الحمد لله وحده والصلاة والسلام على من لا نبي بعد أما بعد. Why are they in order, أخي and أختي? See, Islam is what is apparent, al-zahir. Your acts of worship, your ibadah. People can see you doing things. It's zahir. But the iman is batin, is hidden. Believing in the unknown or unseen. Have you seen Allah? Have you seen Rasulullah? Have you seen the angels? Have you seen the hereafter? All of that, the iman is something that you believe in even you have not seen. Not tangible. So ihsan encompasses the zahir wal batin. That's why it comes after. So Islam is what you do outwardly of the arkan, of the pillars of Islam, what the acts of worship. But iman is stronger because something that you don't see or hear but you believe in. Ihsan has both outward and inward. Why? Because the fourth in hadith is what? Mata sa'a. When is the hour? So why do we do all of this stuff? Because there is an hour that's coming up that we will be held accountable for. But that day, my brothers and sisters, is 50,000 years. Where the sun leaves its orbit, comes close to your head. People will be running away from each other, saying, Nafsi, Nafsi, myself, myself. But that day, I will give you one good ayah that will keep you holding on to ihsan. But that's in the end, inshallah. So let's go first on the improvement of how we can get to the Sahaba radiallahu anhum ajma'een. First of all, the scholars will tell you, the hadith says, أحسن القتل. Even we're commanded al-dhabh. Even when we're killing, slaughtering an animal, we're commanded to do ihsan. So if we're commanded to do ihsan in the killing, how could you not be doing ihsan with the living? Isn't that amazing, akhi? Have you ever thought about it? If we're doing killing or slaughtering an animal, we're supposed to practice ihsan. So how could you not do ihsan with one another than the one that are living? So ليس الإحسان أن تحسن إلى من أحسن إليك ولكن الإحسان أن تحسن إلى من أساء إليك. Ihsan is not being good to those who are good to you, that's easy. But being good to those who are bad to you, that is difficult. And that's what ihsan is about. So now how to get there? Listen to the stories, inshallah. 3 of them quickly. First one, you will see the lineage. I want you to think about the story of something practical you can relate to so you can implement, inshallah. A young man ate an apple. Pain of hunger is gone. He recognized this apple did not belong to him. Who does this belong to? A man that lives so far. He took a boat, even crossed the water to get to the man that owns that garden that apple belonged to. Forgive me. This man was astonished. How could a young man travel all that far to ask for permission and forgiveness for one apple? He said, I will not forgive you unless you marry my daughter. Anything else? No, I won't forgive you. But before you say yes, she is deaf, dumb and blind, crippled. She cannot walk, she cannot talk, she cannot see, she cannot hear. She says, I accept. Through the door comes a beautiful girl. Assalamu alaikum. She can walk, she can talk, she can hear, she can do everything that the man says. He's lied to me. He says, no, I didn't lie to you. When I told you my daughter cannot speak, that means she cannot speak of anything that's haram. When I told you my daughter cannot see, she cannot see anything that's haram. When I told you my daughter cannot walk, she doesn't walk to any place that is haram. When I told you, see that all of that stuff is that, what is haram, akhi? That's the measuring stick of ihsan. She can see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can see her, be with her all the time. That man married that girl. From the lineage of that was Abu Hanifa al-Nu'man rahmatullahi alayhi. The second was Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu anhuma. Walking in the desert one day, got hungry, he saw a flock of sheep. A sheep herder is there, says, give me. He says, wallahi, they don't belong to me. You didn't have to ask, I would have given it to you. Well, tell the owner that wolf ate it. You know what he said? That's the third homework I'm going to ask you to do from now on. He said, Ayn Allah. One word that you have to embed in your brain. Before you do anything, you're going to ask yourself, Ayn Allah. Abdullah ibn Umar was so established. He doesn't mean Ayn Allah. He says, do you think if I do that, where do you think Allah is? Cannot see me? Cannot hear me? Will not hold me accountable? So Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu anhuma turned around and he slapped his thighs 3 times. Ayn Allah, Ayn Allah, Ayn Allah. So before you commit that sin, my brothers and sisters, ask yourself that question. Ayn Allah. And a man that said, there are 2 ayat that keeps me on the straight and narrow. The first ayah, قُلْ أَذَلِكَ خَيْرٌ أَمْ جَنَّةُ الْخُلْدِ. Is this better? Being with this girl for a few minutes? Is this better? Or جَنَّةُ الْخُلْدِ. وَلِمَنْ خَافَ مَقَامَ رَبِّهِ جَنَّتَانِ يَا أَخَ الْإِسْلَامِ. Not Jannah. If you are conscious that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sees you, not just one Jannah, you inherit another one that lost the bed. The number 2. Number 3 was the one that Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu was involved in. By the way, this lineage you will find out. Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu hears a woman telling her daughter, add water to the milk in Medina. I'm sure we remember it, but just a reminder to this poor slave of Allah first, wallahi. He knocks on the door. Cannot do that. She comes back again. Umar Khattab listening. The mother is telling the daughter the same thing. Add water to the milk. So he said, didn't Umar Khattab radiallahu anhu say you cannot do that? He says, Ayna Umar al-an? Where is Umar now? He says, Umar is not here radiallahu anhu. فَأَيْنَ رَبُّ Umar? Where is the Lord of Umar? He was impressed. He goes back to his own sons. One of you has to marry this one. If none of you will, I will. The lineage of that marriage was Umar ibn Abdul Aziz radiallahu anhu ardah. So my brothers and sisters, let's finish with that carrot that I hung ahead of you. وَالَّذِينَ أَحْسَنُوا الْحُسْنَى وَزِيَادَةً. Those who practice ihsan, may Allah make us among them, is al-husna, wal-husna hiya al-jannah. Meaning that you will get Jannah. May Allah grant us a Jannah. Ameen. Wa ziyada. You know what the ziyada is? And there's more. There's something on top of that. A bonus. And the scholars will tell you the ziyada. And tara wajhullah subhanahu jalla fi ulah. To be able to see the magnificent face of Allah in the way befitting His Majesty. The scholars will tell you there's nothing better than that. Ever. To be able to see the magnificent face of Allah. Nothing tops that. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us among the muhsineen and grant us Jannah with no accountability. Ameen. Wa akhir da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wa sallam ala alihi wa sahbihi wa tabi'in.
I wanna be in Jannah, Jannah, yeah. Jannah, Jannah. Every Muslim dreams to be up in Jannah, 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 Jannah. A pious person's destiny. Inshallah in Jannah, Jannah, Jannah.